Kirby in the Forgotten Land is the biggest leap in the Kirby formula since the best game ever released, Kirby Tilt and Tumble on the Game Boy. It's the first 3D platformer Kirby game, but I have to say, it confused me initially, but in a good way. As always with Kirby games, the story isn't a major focus. Kirby's just having a good time flying around before a vortex swallows him up, transporting him to another world. All of the Waddle Dees from Planet Popstar got spread around the themed worlds, so it's up to Kirby to save them. Before each level, you're shown level missions, some of which you can see and others you can't. The goal of each level apart from completing it is to find all of the Waddle Dees. The tasks required to obtain each Waddle Dee is what kept me on the lookout throughout the entire game. Some are just hidden in a secret path, but others appear when you complete a task in a secret room or interact with something that's seemingly just part of the environment. This variety in how Waddle Dees are unlocked keeps your eyes scanning over every inch of a level to look out for anything suspicious. You'll want to get as many Waddle Dees as possible since you have to have a certain amount to unlock the last boss level in each world and build up Waddle Dee Town. The levels themselves are brilliantly designed with new environmental elements added to fit with each world's theme. New enemies are added at a regular rate to give you more and more copy abilities to work with. Like most Kirby games, you're able to suck up enemies and absorb their power, which Kirby can then use. The copy abilities often play into the level design, as a specific ability is used to solve a puzzle or platforming challenge to get a reward. Copy abilities can be evolved at Waddle Dee Town, which is built up as you find more Waddle Dees. But it does get a bit annoying having to go back whenever you want to upgrade an ability. Though I did enjoy seeing a visual representation of my progress as Waddle Dee Town got built up, adding new buildings and mini-games to play. In order to upgrade an ability, you have to find the blueprint for that particular power in the level, then pay coins and rare stones to evolve it at the shop. Rare stones are gathered when you complete Treasure Road trials, which are timed challenge levels placed in the overworld that make use of a specific ability, teaching you its nuances. These are a fun side challenge that helps change up the flow of the game. I enjoyed going for the target times because of the challenge, and you're rewarded with a bit of extra gold. Perhaps the biggest gameplay addition is Kirby's new ability known as Mouthful Mode. Instead of sucking up an enemy and absorbing their power, Mouthful Mode allows Kirby to suck up inanimate objects to use them in a segment of the level. These were some of my favorite parts of the game as it completely changes up the gameplay. I especially liked the car because of the racetrack designed levels, but there's so many, like a traffic cone, ring, and a glider for example. Because Kirby has a lot of health, can fly around for a while, and has a lot of unique abilities at his disposal, the game is very easy for the most part. The hardest part of the game is the boss fights, as I actually died once or twice on a few of them. Before each fight, you're able to choose between different copy abilities, so even though you'll fight some bosses multiple times, the copy abilities change up your attack strategy. Of the game's 2 difficulty options, I recommend playing on Wild Mode since it's still a very easy game and you can always change the difficulty later on. Co-op mode allows someone else to join on your adventure as Bandana Waddle Dee, who's armed with a spear. It is still fun, but he's relegated to the younger siblings since I doubt anyone would choose Bandana Waddle Dee over Kirby. Kirby has always been a visually vibrant series, and Kirby in the Forgotten Land is no different. The cartoony visuals are riddled with charm as each enemy's animations are full of personality. The biggest drawback with the visuals is enemies in the distance run at a distractingly low frame rate, but the visual variety and gorgeous world design more than make up for it. The audio is nothing to be brushed off either, as all of the sound effects are equally charming and combat sounds punchy, making attacks feel impactful. The music does a great job at setting the tone of each area and cutscene, but there weren't any standout songs apart from the opening. Based on the marketing and trailers, I was under the impression that Kirby in the Forgotten Land would be structured like Mario Odyssey, having big sandbox levels to explore, but what I found was a fairly linear game. After that initial shock wore off, I understood what this game was all about: exploration. There's so many secret locations and potential things to look out for to make sure you're completing the secret objectives to get Waddle Dees. Even though the game is easy, you're always always on the lookout, which is sort of the game within the game. The new and ever-evolving abilities keep you playing as you learn their nuances in the Treasure Road trials. Levels are constantly playing with new ideas that make use of copy abilities and mouthful mode. Waddle Dee Town does hurt the pacing, but overall it's a net positive because of all the fun minigames and challenges you unlock. Kirby in the Forgotten Land is the next big step for the series, and I can't wait to see where this formula takes Kirby on his next adventure. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe to see more videos like this in the future.